The 9/11 memorial reopened to the public Tuesday, a week after Superstorm Sandy flooded the World Trade Center site, but another temporary closure was planned Wednesday in anticipation of an expected nor'easter. City parks will also be shut down due to potential high winds from the predicted nor'easter, with park closures scheduled from Wednesday noon through Thursday noon. The earlier news from the 9/11 site following Sandy, however, was that last week's superstorm, which claimed at least 40 lives in the city, spared the court of the memorial, the reflective fountains ringed by the names of those who died in the terrorist attack. My worst fear on the night of the storm was what was going to happen to the memorial, and the names that millions of people have come and touched. Joe Daniels, president of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, told the Associated Press. As he walked through the memorial site late Monday afternoon, he called it the sacred place. Daniels pointed to a tree that miraculously had made it through the September 11th terrorist attack and also survived the storm. Also spared were 9/11 artifacts that are to be displayed in the museum still under construction, from a piece of the North Tower's antenna to an elevator motor that once propelled workers into the skyscrapers. The memorial reopened at 10 a.m. Tuesday and was scheduled to close at 4 p.m. Full power has not yet been restored to the site, with some areas, including the visitor center, still relying on generators. When Daniels first entered the memorial last week on the morning after the worst of the storm devastated lower Manhattan, the water was pouring in with force, he said, carrying huge pieces of wood and other debris along the south side of the Memorial Ward Visitor Center. Some screening facilities temporarily housed in a tent there also were damaged, he said. Inside the visitor center and a private entrance room for victims' families, about 4 feet of water ruined the lower sections of the sheetrock walls, which had to be cut away. In the unfinished museum, the water rose as high as 8 feet. The historic, man-made disaster had come face to face with a new, natural catastrophe. And yet, on the eve of the reopening, Daniels glanced across the waterfalls and reflecting pools set within the footprints of the Twin Towers as the sun set over lower Manhattan with a feeling of strength. That's what this place is about. Strength and resilience. It had taken about a week to drain the floodwaters, as high as 10 feet in places, from the 16-acre site. Work was completed by Monday afternoon, using 5 huge pumps that sucked up tens of millions of gallons of water, officials said. The memorial reopened at 10 a.m. Tuesday, closing at 4 p.m. until full power is restored to the World Trade Center site, Daniels said. Some areas, including the visitor center, still rely on generators.